Hello Wargamers and welcome to the first ever Madhouse Wargaming Age of Sigmar Battle Report. We are joined today by Andy Selwood with his Blades of Khorne and Louis Philippe with his pre-battle tome, Free Peoples of Sigmar. These two armies will epically clash to capture both objective markers on the battlefield, scoring a complete victory if they hold both and there are no other enemies around them. There are no other secondaries, it's an all or nothing victory in this scenario. So capture that point or die trying. Who will win the day? Will it be the bloody forces of Khorne, powered by berserker rage, or will it be the staunch defenders of the Free Peoples of Sigmar, wielding discipline as their weapon? Subscribe today to see more epic Age of Sigmar battle reports coming very soon to the channel.
Hi, my name is Louis Philippe. I'm playing 3 people today. So I'm playing a 30 guys of crossbows, a unit of 40 militiamen, a unit of 10 greatswords, 2 units of 10 handgunners, a unit of 20 swords and shield guards, a knight encounter, a general on horse, who's also my general with the undomitable command trait, which get every 3 people units wholly within 12 a +1 save. A general on Griffin with the Ethereal Amulets, who gets him a 3+ save, and 5 guys of Outriders, and that's it.
Hi, I'm Andy, and I'm running Blades of Khorne. So I'm running the Reapers of Vengeance Slaughter Host, and so what I've got is a Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, and he is my general. So he has the item, the Crimson Crown, and he has the Mage Eater trait, so that he can dispel spells. And with Reapers of Vengeance, they have the command ability Leave None Alive, which allows them to pile in twice. So I have the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster as well. I also have a Bloodsecrator. He has the Skull Shard Mantle. Now I'm running the Dark Feast Battalion, and for that I have 3 units of 10 Blood Reavers, and also to have that battalion I have a Bloodstoker and I have a Slaughter Priest, and the Slaughter Priest has the Bronze Flesh blessing to give me +1 to save on 1 unit. And then in addition I have 5 Wrathmongers and a unit of 10 Skull Reapers. I also have the Hexgorger Skulls, which is a Judgment of Khorne that the Slaughter Priest can bring forth. So, blood for the Blood God. So we're doing Knife to the Heart, and so this is a mission where there's 2 objectives, and starting from the 3rd battle round, if somebody controls both of them, then the game ends and they've won. Basically. Okay, so we are going to do the roll-off to decide who gets to deploy first and pick which side. Are you ready?
Ready? And a 2 and a 4, you go for it.
Okay, so as part of that, I'm going to pick this side, and before I deploy my army, I need to put down my terrain piece, which is my blood altar. So I'm going to put that down. It has to be 3 inches from other terrain pieces and the objective. So I'm going to put it here.
You're fine.
It's going to go right there.
Great.
And I'll put down my first drop.
Andy and LP have finished their deployments, their armies staring each other down from across the battlefield. Andy has taken up a more spearhead deployment, ready to charge, crashing into the lines of the Free People. However, LP has anticipated this and has set himself up in a wide crescent formation, with his Outriders and his general on the flanks, ready to move in and perform a pincer maneuver on the Khorne forces as they crash into his front line.
Okay, hi. So I've deployed my Blades of Khorne. So what I've done is my usual trick, which is using the Blood Reavers as a meat shield to protect the rest of the good stuff here. And I've got the 10 Skull Reapers right here. I've got the Bloodstoker. He's nicely positioned so that they're wholly within 8 inches of him, so that he can whip to fury them if he needs to. The Wrathmongers are sitting at the back here. They've got that bubble giving +1 attack as well, so they're well positioned. I've got the Bloodsecrator. He gives that 16-inch bubble of +1 attack, so he's nicely positioned there. I've got the Slaughter Priest. He's wholly within 8 of the Blood Altar, so he's going to get rerolls on his judgments and his blessings and his prayers. And then finally, I've got the 2 Bloodthirsters just kind of sitting in the back, sort of standing over my objective, waiting to leap forward and wreak vengeance.
Hi, so here's the free people deployment. So I actually deployed this 3 unit as a great company, so 2 unit of handgunners and 1 unit of guards. And this and that unit are deployed as another great company. Great company is if you're within 12, wholly within 12, when in the other guy combat phase, all of the units can do some tricky stuff. They can either shoot in his combat phase or try to charge in his combat phase. So we're going to see if it happened to something.
Okay, so I finished deploying first, so I get to pick who goes first. So I'm going to give LP first turn, and I'm going to shake your hand. Good luck.
Good luck. So first thing first, I'm going to do my hero phase. I'm going to try to cast Spirit Storm on my Stormcast Journal. He's going to be able to cast on an 8, and then A&D is going to try to dispel.
I'm going to see if I'm in range.
Make sure you're in range.
Oh,
maybe not.
No, I'm not in range.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to put a small token. So Spirit Storm gets me technically to do more wounds on everything that is inside 18, which is nothing right now. But if his unit are reaching inside 18 bubble of my Stormcaster Journal, they're going to be on -1 to run and -1 to charge. So that's going to be a bit useful against his +3 to charge. That may be happening. Also, I'm not going to use any command point. Nope. So that's going to be it for the hero phase.
Checking weapons and charge ranges, LP shuffles his army forward, but dares not overextend himself lest he feel the blades of Khorne.
Okay, so movement phase is over. So I've moved my Outriders on the left flank. My crossbow came over to cover the small hole and gap that's going to appear here. My guard just moved a bit, just so it covered the 6-inch bubble made by the objective. So he's not able to seize it for now. I'm going to hope they're going to be there on 3rd and 3. And then the rest of the army didn't move quite. The general just moved a little bit, so he's covering the crossbows all the way to the guards. So everything is nicely inside the +1 on the save bubble. And now we're going to move to the shooting phase. We're going to shoot 2 guns, and that's going to be it. So those 2 guys can shoot 30-inch. So they just used their sniping guns and shot that unit. One of them managed to wound, so Andy's now is going to roll to save with a -1 rend.
Yep, so I got to make a save roll for my Skull Reapers. They've got a 4-up save normally, but with the rend 1, they're going to save on a 5. So that is a save.
That's a save. So no damage from 3 people on turn 1, and that's going to be it because I'm not crazy enough to charge Khorne. And I'm going to hand over to Andy, who's going to play.
Okay, so I'm starting my hero phase for turn 1. So I do get a command point.
Yep.
And so I'm up to 2 command points. And so my hero phase is really all about the Slaughter Priest. So he's going to do 3 things. The first thing he's going to do is try and get the Hexgorger Skulls going. So that goes off on a 3. I do get a reroll because he's wholly within 8 inches of the Skull Altar. So that is a 4, so it goes off. So I do get to grab my Hexgorger Skulls. And they are positioned wholly within 8 of him. And they have to be within 6 inches of each other. So they are going to go here. And immediately after I put them down, they get to move. So I'm going to move them 8 inches, like so. So that's the first thing he can do. The second thing he can do is his blessing, which is bronze flesh. He's going to try to put that on the Skull Reapers. So I rolled a 4, so that goes off. So I'm going to put a little token there. So they've got bronzed flesh on them, so it gives them +1 to save. The other thing he can do is Blood Boil, which is really nasty, but it has a range of 16 and nobody is in range. So that is the end of my hero phase. On to the movement phase.
The bloodthirsty howls of the Blades of Khorne echo across the battlefield as Andy marches his army up the board, inspired by the whippings of the Bloodsecrator. He's unable to make his charge on the first turn, but primed and ready to deliver a murderous blow right to the face of LP's army. But will LP break ranks and deliver a surprise counter-assault?
So in my first movement phase, at the start of the movement phase, the Bloodstoker put Whip to Fury on the Skull Reapers, and that does two things. It gives them +3 to run or charge, and it also gives them re-rolling failed wound rolls as well. And what I did was I moved up the Blood Reavers to sort of form that kind of meat shield, continue that going. So they ran up, and then I ran up the Skull Reapers and the Wrathmongers and pretty much everything. But with Khorne, the main thing is that you want to try and keep things wholly within. So the way that I've moved, I've managed to keep everything wholly within 16 of the Bloodsecrator, so it's giving me the +1 attack. Wholly within the Wrathmongers, it's giving me +1 attack. And next turn, because you have to think a turn ahead with Khorne, I'm within 16 of my Slaughter Priest, so I can again do his prayers on the Skull Reapers or anybody else in this area here as well. And then I'm sort of keeping my Bloodthirsters, I'm being a bit conservative with them. I don't want them to get shot. I want them to be able to jump out when needed. Okay, now we're going to move on to my shooting phase. Okay, so for my shooting phase, my Bloodthirsters do have their whips and other things, but nothing is in range right now of those. So on to the charge phase. Okay, so for the charge phase, everything ran and nothing is in range for things that didn't run, so I can't declare any charges, so that's the end of my turn 1.
An uneventful turn 1, it seems, as the forces of Khorne are jockeying for position to see who gets that first charge for the glory of Khorne. The Free Peoples have stayed back somewhat, the Outriders moving around to the side, but Louis-Philippe's men will be disciplined and ready to take that charge and fire off some shots at anyone who comes a little bit too close. Let's see what happens as we move into turn 2.
So start of the second round, I won the roll-off, and I'm going to choose to go first, just in order I'm going to place a bit more and brace for charge. My Stormcaster General Knight Encounter was able to cast Spirit Storm, so any units within 18 inch going to suffer mortal wounds, so that's going to affect 3 of Andy's unit. So Andy, can you pick your mortal wounds?
Oh, so I pick which ones to affect?
Yeah, well, it's going to affect all of the 3 units, but you can assign those mortal wounds to whoever you want.
I will assign them to this unit.
No, each unit is going to be affected by 1 mortal wounds, but
yeah.
Inside the unit you can choose whoever is going to be affected by that mortal wounds.
Okay, so I can choose this guy to be affected?
Yeah, so he's
dead?
Yeah.
And then I can choose this guy?
Yep.
And then I can choose this guy?
Yep.
So he'll take 1 wound, okay. I just keep track, I'll put wounds taken, so I'll just put a 1 next to him.
Yep.
Okay.
Suffered. And so that's also a bubble for his turn that, once again, if he want to charge with anything inside this 18 inch or run with anything inside this 18 inch, it's going to be a -1 to
okay.
the roll or to the distance.
Yeah.
After that, I'm going to use one of my 3 command points. So one of my command points to this general over here. It's going to ask my handgunners to hold the line. So I'm going to use those old dice from Warhammer Fantasy Battle to hold the line. So those 2 are going to hold the line, can say up to 3 units. And hold lines gets me a +1 to hit, +1 to wounds, but I'm not able to move at all on my turn, and I can only pile in or on his turn. And that's going to be for that command point. And which I'm going to do, let's see something. I'm going to use another command point from this general here. He's going to use Roosing Battle Cry, so that's gonna have them +1 to hit, +2 bravery, and +1 on a charge. So they're gonna try to do something, and that's it for the hero phase.
LP's Outriders ride hard and fast, circling to the far left of the flank of the Free People's armies. But what's this? The Free Peoples march forward, fearless of the blades of Khorne in front of them. They will meet them, and they will die standing to hold the line.
Okay, so Free People have moved up a bit. The Outriders there are way far on the left side, trying to wrap around the Khorne unit that were mindless charging forward. My crossbows have moved out a bit and going to be able to shoot right now. The great swords are going to die, and they are right now in forefront of the army, bracing for the charge. The militias are moved up a bit also to be able to throw some rocks at the Khorne unit incoming, and the Griffin is tying it up a bit for the upcoming charge. And now it's going to be the shooting phase, and I'm going to be able to shoot more than 2 guns. So militias have shoot their rocks at those units. So
Skull Reapers.
Skull Reapers. So 17 of them I shoot in them, and the rest are going to shoot in the front unit. But right now the 17 who've shot rocks have made 7 wounds.
Yep.
Yep, and then he's going to go for the saves. No ran.
Okay, so there are 4 up save normally, but they've got bronzed flesh, so now they're on 3s. Okay, I failed a lot of those. I failed 5. So there's already 1 wound on a guy, so that means that 2 guys are going to die. So I'll just put them back here.
And now I'm at 10, that's going to shoot the front. The rest of the militia shot their rocks on the front unit, and the rest are too far, and the back row are too far, so I made up 7 wounds on the front unit.
So this is on the Blood Reavers there at the front, so they got a 6 up save. So I made 1 save, so I will lose 6 of those guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
Oh, that's an. Did you forget that guy? We wanted him to die.
Oh, let's put him back then. Thanks.
Why? I don't know. You may split up your unit so they just die.
Yeah.
No Khorne stuff. After that, so we're gonna see are the handgunners in range of something. The front rows of handgunners were able to shoot, and they made it, and it's 3 hits, wounds, and -1 ran, so they're just gonna disappear.
Yeah, there are 6 up saves, so I don't get any rolls, so they just die.
And first blood is for the Free People.
And as a Khorne player, I always say, guess what? I get a blood type point.
Yeah, that's the bad thing.
So 1 blood type for the Blades of Khorne.
Hello, so the crossbows I've shot in the Blood Reavers. They've shot 22 of them were in range, and they shoot twice because they are over 20. So they shot 44 shots inside the Blood Reavers unit here. 11 made it without a ran, and 1 made it with a ran -1.
So how many saves do I have to make?
So 11 saves, Andy.
11 saves. So
and
that's
1 die.
6, 8, 10, 11. So no rend.
No ran on those 11.
Okay, so Blood Ravers save on 6s. So none of them saved, and I took 2, so they're all dead. All right.
Second unit die.
But I do get a blood type point.
Yeah. So that's the end of the shooting phase. I went from right to left with my army, and that's over. So up to the charge phase, but I won't charge. So that's going to be Handy's turn.
Okay, so I lost 2 units of Blood Reavers right out, so there's no battle shock for them. 2 Skull Reapers died, but Skull Reapers don't take battle shock tests. That's part of their war scroll. So now it's on to my turn 2. Okay, so this is my turn 2 hero phase. Again, it's all about the Slaughter Priest. I've got a command point at the start of my turn, and so what I'm going to try to do is produce the Hexgorger skulls again. So that goes off on a 3, and I can re-roll this because I'm within 8 inches of the skull altar. So I rolled a 2, but as I said, I can re-roll. And I rolled a 5, so that goes off, so I will bring those out again. So they start off wholly within 8 inches of the Slaughter Priest. And then they get to move. These actually fly, so I'm going to fly them forward 8 inches. to there, and there. Okay, so that's done. And then for Blood Boil, I'm out of range for any Blood Boils, but I am in range. I can do Bronze Flesh again on the Skull Reapers. So that goes off on a 4, and again I get a reroll for this. So I rolled a 4, so that goes off. So Bronze Flesh on the Skull Reapers. And that is the end of my hero phase. And then it's on to the movement phase.
Blood for the Blood God! The forces of Khorne have charged themselves forward to be able to pull off that turn 2 charge. They'll be crashing through the Free People's lines with the Bloodthirsters, the Wrathmongers, and the Skull Reapers, ready to battle for the bloody favor of Khorne. However, Andy has been careful to hold back some of his forces holding his objective, to challenge the Outriders should they try to make a sneaky ploy to take his objective. This is where the carnage of Khorne will truly come into play, as absolute butchery will reign on the battlefield today.
Alright, so I just finished the movement phase for my turn 2. So the first thing I did was at the start of the movement phase, again, the Bloodstoker, Whip to Fury, the Skull Reapers, and then I pretty much moved, I moved the Skull Reapers up 5, so now I'm planning to charge forward with the Skull Reapers. I moved the Wrathmongers up 5, so they're going to charge. I moved both of the Bloodthirsters, and I ran the Bloodstoker and the Slaughter Priest, and the Bloodscrater and the Slaughter Priest, and the remaining 10 Blood Reavers here are kind of shielding my objective because I don't want him to take it. And that is my movement for turn 2. Okay, so the Bloodthirst of Unfettered Fury used his Lash of Khorne on these great swords, and I did 1 wound at rend 1.
So the great swords have a 4+ save, so I'm going to roll on a 5+, and that's a 6, so it's a save.
Okay. All right, so now it's time for Khorne to charge. Okay, so the Skull Reapers here are going to charge into the Swordsman. So they've got Whip to Fury on them, which gives them +3. However, they have -1
from the Spirit Storm.
From the Spirit Storm. So I'm going to roll their charge. So I'll see what I roll, and I'm going to get +2 to this. So I rolled a 6, +2 is 8.
That's all you need. That's exactly what you need.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to move them in. So the Skull Reapers, with that 8-inch charge, have ended up here, right in front of
Swordsman?
The Swordsman, yeah. And now we're going to try a charge with the Wrathmongers into the Great Swords. So I get no pluses to this, but they're pretty close, so hopefully I'm going to make it. -1?
Because they are inside 18 of the Spirit Storm.
Okay.
Yep, they have -1, 2, and you have to roll at least a 4.
Okay, so I rolled a 4.
-1, so that's a 3, so you don't make it.
Okay, I will spend a command point to reroll.
Go for it.
So I rolled a 7.
There you go, you're making it.
-1 is 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Wrathmongers, I moved them in. At least one of them has to be within half an inch, and that's going to be this guy.
And there's a nice little spot for somebody special.
Yeah, so I'm going to try a sneaky charge with the Bloodthirster.
And you need an 8? No, 7. So
7.
Yeah, 7. So a 7, and you're outside of 18. So yeah, it's a straight up 7.
Okay. And I rolled an 11.
11. Whoa.
Ooh. Now he can fly, so I got to see how far he can actually get.
With the base? Eesh.
The back of his base, no, he can't clear
No,
that
you
unit.
can't clear it.
But he is going to get in.
Ooh, that would have been hurtful. That's gonna hurt.
Okay, and that is the end of my charge phase.
My turn! End of Andy's charge phase. I'm now in contact with Andy's model, which is going to be hurtful, but also for him, because the Free People Allegiance get me to assign great companies, and great company works as a detachment who used to work in the Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So what happened is those 3 units are a great company. Since Andy charged my front units and everything is, both units are inside 12 inch from each other, they can support each other. So those 2 units are going to be able to activate at the end of the charge phase, which is now happening. They can act as it was their shooting phase or as it was a charge phase for me. I'm going to choose to act as a shooting phase for those 2 units. And I can assign shooting to wherever I want because it's a normal shooting phase. Same thing here. The great swords and those 2 units are assigned as a great company. Great company, you have to be a 20 guards and 2 units of 10 minimum, so it can be bigger, of course. So that great swords unit is wholly within 12 of that unit of militias, so you're gonna throw rocks, and they're gonna act as it was their shooting phase also, so they're gonna throw rocks, and we're gonna see where they're gonna throw rocks right now. So my 31 shot fired on the Bloodthirster, and of those I got 16 wounds, so Andy's gonna roll 16 dice, Noran.
Okay, so 16 saves, 4 up on the Bloodthirster. Okay, so he failed. 1, 2, 3, 4,
1 bracket.
5, 6, 7.
2 bracket.
So I'll put 7 wounds on him.
Still on 2nd or 3rd bracket now?
Let's see. Let's put them behind him. So 7 wounds taken. That puts him down to his 3rd bracket. So he's now
That's good.
now movement 8 and wounding on 3s with his axe.
Great. So the 10 others are going to shoot on their warm. Yeah. So the 10 others militias shot on the warmongers. They hit on 2s and wound on 4s, and only 2 actually managed to wound. So Andy, go for it.
Okay, so Wrathmongers save on 5s. So I rolled 1 6 and 1 3, so that's 1 wound taken on a Wrathmonger. So I'm going to put it on this guy back here.
How many wounds do you have?
They have 3 wounds
3 wounds
each.
each. How many wounds left until the next bracket?
He 10 wounds is the next bracket.
10 wounds, so oh my god, yeah, a bunch of wounds. So both units of handgunners shot the Skull Reapers. My sniper tried again to shot the totem up there, the banner, but they are unable to hit, even though they hit on 2s, and they once again hold 1s. But the 18 shot on the Skull Reapers got me 11 wounds, so Andy's gonna roll for those. -1 man.
Okay, so they've got bronze flesh, which makes them a 3, but the -1 puts them back to a 4. So I'm saving on 4s. Okay, and that's a pretty good roll. I only failed 1.
Ooh, nope, the 3s are...
Sorry, 3, pardon me. So 2 wounds on this guy. Okay, so at the start of the combat phase, my Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury is going to activate a command ability on his War Scroll, and this is one he can do for free because of his Crimson Crown, and that is the one where he can pile in 6 inches. And then I'm going to spend a command point to activate the Reapers of Vengeance command ability, which is Leave None Alive, which means that he can, after he piles in for the first time, he can pile in immediately again afterwards. Okay, so the Wrathmonger's activated. They've got a reach of 2 inches. I did, sorry, how many was it? It was 9. I did 9 at rend 1.
11.
Sorry, 11.
Yep.
It was 11. Sorry, 11.
9.
Yeah,
Right.
9. I did 9 at rend 1 on the greatswords.
And the greatswords have a save of 4+, so that's going to be a 5+ roll. And that's a 6, that's a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are gone. So swordsmen have piled in inside into the Skull Crusher?
Skull Reapers.
Skull Reapers, sorry. And they have attacked and they won only 4 times. So Andy's gonna have 4 save rolls.
No rend?
No rend at all.
Okay, so I'm saving on 3s because of the bronze flesh. So I failed 2.
Ooh, I killed something.
So you killed this guy. And something special happens because of the distance between us. I'll explain that in a moment. So he dies, and I'll put a wound on this guy. Okay, so when a Skull Reaper dies, on a 5 up, you take D3 mortal wounds.
Go for it.
If they're within range of you.
Yeah.
Oops. Whoop. I'll try that again. Nope, so it's a 1, so nothing happens.
Oh, phew.
Okay, so the Skull Reapers crashed they piled into the swordsman, and I did 6 mortal wounds, because on natural 6s to hit, they do a mortal wound in addition to their other attacks. And then I rolled 23 wounds at no rend from Skull Reapers.
So, the swordsmen are usually on 4 pluses, because 5 plus regular, 4 plus in combat because they have parry. And the general, which right now they are wholly within 12 of it, gets them a +1. So they're gonna roll on 3s, reroll 1s because of the shields.
Wow.
So 1s, 1, 1, and 1, and 1, and 1. So 1, 2. So 2 damage right now.
Okay.
Gonna remove those from play, and then roll again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's what. So 6 damage straight through. 6 more. So that's 12 dead. So Andy got my Night Invocator in combat because he was inside 3 inch. So I pat him 1 inch, and I'm 2 inch range, so I'm able to hit. I made 2 wounds at -1 rend, so Andy's gonna try to save those.
Okay, so with the bronze flesh I'm a 3, but with a -1 I become a 4. So I failed 1 and made 1, so I take D3.
You're gonna take D3 damage. I'm gonna roll for it. You're gonna take 2.
And that kills that
Last guy.
Last guy over here. So on a 5 up, you take mortal wounds back.
Yep.
You don't.
No. Woof. And back to you, my Andy.
Okay, so the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury has a 6 inch pile in. So he piled in over here and he attacked the militia. He had 8 attacks because he was getting +1 attack from the Wrathmongers and +1 from the Bloodsecrator. He managed to do 4 wounds at rend 2.
Which I don't save.
Militia doesn't save, so then I rolled my damage, and these are D3 each, so he takes 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, and then he gets to do it again. Okay, so the Bloodthirster used his Leave None Alive ability, which I activated earlier, which means that he piled in again. He did 4 wounds on the militia. They don't get to save, so I just do a D3 each. So they take, ouch.
Ouch. 3, 6.
11 wounds,
11
so 11 die.
6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here. And they still have their command ability on them. So my militias pile in, and I got 19 in range. Actually 18, but the sergeant got 2 attacks. So 19 attacks, hit on 2s because of the because they are more than 20, and because of the battle war, whatever the Griffin command ability. And so hit on 2s, wounds on 4, and I got 7 wounds that Andy's gonna roll for.
Okay, so I got a 4 up save, no rend, so I'm looking at 4s. So I failed 3 of those.
Nope.
So he takes another 3 wounds, so that's
Exactly.
going to put him on 10 wounds taken.
Yep.
So he's got 4 wounds left.
Down a bracket. So I got my great swords to pile in here and attack the Warmonger.
Wrathmongers?
Yeah, Wrathmongers. I got 7 attacks, and out of those 7, only 2 got through and wounds, so Andy's gonna roll -1 rend.
Okay, Wrathmongers have a 5 up save, so they need 6s. So I rolled 2 6s.
2 6s. Nice.
Wow, so they both saved.
And now we're gonna do battle. Okay, so I'm gonna roll first for my guards here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 died. So what happened is my banner here gets me, if I roll 1 on Battle Shock, I don't care, whatever the result is. My general here, banner, gets me to roll 2 dice on Battle Shock, and my Legion's ability gets me to reroll if I don't like the result. So I'm gonna roll I'm gonna roll back inside here, so I roll a 1. So those guards actually don't care losing 12 guys. Then I'm gonna go for my militia over here, same thing. They lost a bunch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21. So a bunch could flee. So I'm gonna roll, and I'm actually gonna not re-roll. I'm gonna use the my 12-inch, just make sure he's easy.
Oh, he has to move in 12. Is that your general?
Yeah, that's my general. He's inside.
Yeah, okay.
Inside.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use my command ability, the command ability to have them pass their re-roll, because I don't want to attempt it. And so they're gonna pass, and I'm gonna be at 0 command point right now. So Greatswords also lost 7 of their brothers. They're gonna roll. They roll a 2 plus 7 minus the bravery is 5 or 6. I don't remember. So I checked the bravery. So Greatsword bravery is a 6. So it's actually 1 plus whatever the roll is. So I would lose right now 3 guys, so whatever left. So I don't have any command points left, so I'm gonna re-roll. And I'm gonna re-roll the same thing, so my great swords are gone.
And I will get a blood tithe point.
Blood tithe for the blood of God of blood. I'm gonna make it.
In battle, all will serve the mighty will of Khorne. But by the end of turn 2, Andy has suffered some large casualties at the hands of the organized fire of the free people. Will he be able to slaughter enough of them to get to that objective? Or will Louis-Philippe be able to use his men as a sheer weight of numbers advantage to grind Khorne out in a battle of attrition? Let's see what happens as we move on to turn 3.
Turn 3 roll off, and we're gonna go for it. I roll a 1, that's nice. So Andy, your turn to choose.
I will take the turn, and just mentioning that at the end of the second battle round, the Hexgorger skulls did actually disappear. So so start of the third battle round, going into my hero phase. Okay, so this is the start of my turn 3, the hero phase. So again, the Slaughter Priest is going to do stuff. So the first thing he's going to do is try a blood boil on the swordsman over there. So he needs 4 for this to go off. So I rolled a 2, but I do get to re-roll because he's in range of the skull altar, and I rolled a 2, so that fails. The next thing he's going to try is bronzed flesh on the raftmongers. Again, he needs a 4. He rolled a 3, but he can re-roll. He rolled a 4, so that does go off. So they get bronzed flesh. And the last thing he's going to do is produce those Hexgorger skulls again. So that needs a 3. I rolled a 1, but I can re-roll, and I rolled a 5. So those do go off again. So I get to put those down, wholly within 8 of him. So I'm going to put them here, and just move them over here so they're not in my way. Okay, and that is the end of my hero phase.
The Lord of Skulls has rewarded his champion on this day, and Andy has won the initiative and is going for the double turn on Louis-Philippe. His Blood Reavers retreat to center themselves onto Andy's objective and moves his other Bloodthirster into the fray.
The charge phase.
Okay, so at the end of the, I ended my charge phase. There was no charges that I declared. However,
my Great Company ability activated at the end of his charge phase. So I got my 2 handgunners unit to shoot. My 2 long rifle shot that Bloodthirster and hit, and only 1 wounds through the save of Andy, so he's still alive with 2 wounds left. And the rest of the handgunners, 9 were able to go through wounds, but Andy saved 2, so there's 7 wounds on that Bloodthirster. And then Andy went up to activate at the beginning of the combat phase.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the combat phase, I activated the Bloodthirsters of Unfettered Furies, Rejoice in the Slaughter. And then I also spent a command point to activate the other ability where I get to pile in twice. So at the start of the combat phase, I'm going to activate the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster first. So he gets to pile in from within, from 6 inches. So he's going to pile in over here and go into combat with the swordsman. He has a reach of 2. Okay, so the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster piled in from 6 inches because of that ability, and he did 5 wounds at Ren 2 on the swordsman.
Swordsmen who are usually 3 pluses, so it's going to be 5 plus reroll 1s. And there's no 1, but there's 2 saves, so 3 goes through. How many damage?
So D3 each. So that is going to be 5 wounds.
5 wounds. They are still alive.
And then he will get to go again.
Oh. Ooh. Unless... Here you go. You're too far.
Okay, now he can't reach.
And they are still in... we're on the combat phase, so I'm going to remove that guy.
Okay.
Andy hit my swordsman and did 5 death with this bloodthirster. Actually was able to manage to remove the front row, and now his bloodthirster is out of reach from my guardsmen. And by removing the guy here, the warmonger are not in combat anymore, so I was able to actually get less damage on that combat phase. So I choose to activate my militias. My militias would throw whatever they had at the bloodthirster, and I was able to do 5 wounds, and Andy's gonna roll for it.
Yep, saving on 4s. I need to make 4 of these, I think. Let's see. He failed 2, so he's dead.
Oh.
Okay, so take this guy off. Put him over here. So that is a blood tithe point for me.
Yeah.
There's always a silver lining.
One more time, sorry. All right, and then whenever you're ready.
Okay, so my Skull Reaper's activated right now. We're just resolving the 1 attack from this one guy here who attacked the Knight Incantor. He did 2 mortal wounds and 4 wounds at no rend.
4 wounds. So I'm gonna roll on 3 pluses. So I fail 1, so that's gonna be 3 wounds on my Knight Incantor. So it's 2 wounds left.
And then I've got the remaining 5 attacking those 3 remaining swordsmen. They've each got 6 attacks. Okay, so the remaining Skull Reapers attacked the 3 swordsmen that were there. On the roll, on 6s to hit, they do mortal wounds, and I rolled 3 mortal wounds, so that took out the swordsman. So I have another blood tithe, so I'm now back up to 2 blood tithe, and it's LP's
Turn to activate.
Turn to activate.
So I choose to move my Knight Incantor forward, and he made attacks. He actually was able to wound once, and -1 rend. D3 damage, so Andy's gonna roll for it.
So I need a 5, and I rolled a 5, so I save.
So you save it. And now Andy's turn. Can you activate something?
No, because these guys are outside of 3, right?
Yeah.
You wanted them to be outside of 3.
Yes. Yeah, they were supposed to be outside of 3.
Yes.
When you move your
Yeah.
bloodthirster, you move the guy.
Yeah, so I don't have anything left to activate.
Yeah, so I still have my end gunners to activate. So I choose to not activate this end gunners and activate those because those are outside of 3, so if I want to blow them up they won't be affected, but they were inside of 3 whatsoever. So I choose to move them forward. I got 6 hand gunners able to attack. They hit on 4s and 4s because they are holding in line, but on his turn I can pile in. So I only managed to make 1 wound, and he's going to try to save it, no rend.
On a 4. And I fail it, so I take 1 wound.
Yep.
I'm going to put that wound on this guy here.
And your turn to activate, you already passed. Back to me, I'm going to choose to stay there, and I won't be able to attack. So it's going to be pretty much the end of your turn.
Yep.
Militia unit have to do bravery. They are on a basic 5. They get a +2 because of the roosting battle cry, and they are -3. So I just have to roll, and they are +1 also because they are 19. So I'm just gonna roll for something below than 5. On a 1, they don't care. So
okay.
There you go. There, stay there.
Okay, and that is the end of my turn 3, and I have not taken his objective. So
Not yet, no.
but it's now his turn 3.
My turn. Okay, so start of the free people third battle round, turn. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove those counter because it's the start of the round, and remove that counter also. I'm gonna try to cast my Spirit Storm, -2 because of the skull. So I'm gonna roll a 10, so it does make it on a 9 because it's -2.
Okay, I'm going to make you re-roll that because you're within 16 of my Blood Secretor.
Okay, so reroll. On a 5, it's a miss, so
Okay.
it doesn't happen. After that, I gain a command point at the beginning of the round of the turn. So I'm going to use it to hold the line. I can issue it to up to 3 free people unit inside within 15, so they don't have to be wholly within. So I'm going to issue it on this unit, on that unit of crossbows, and on that unit of militias over here. So they're going to be +1 to hit, +1 to wound, but they won't be able to move from my turn. And that's going to be hit for my hero phase.
Generon Griffin is no idle threat. He has moved himself into position to take and hold Andy's objective. He will easily be able to clear out the trash that is holding it. His men may be slaughtered, but the day can still be won, as the Outriders bring themselves up the board and prepare to perform a flanking maneuver to take the objective away from the Blades of Khorne.
And a free people movement phase, the Outriders move up the flank. They are now inside 14 inch, so they'll be able to shoot for once. The unit of Blood Reavers in there, isn't it? Blood Reavers?
Yep.
Yep. And the Griffin just went up and flew over, and now is looking down the battlefield to maybe attempt to charge at the end of my turn. And my guy here just went inside, just outside 3 inch, so he doesn't blow up with the Ignite Invocators. But just in case I need to charge him to finish some kind of business in there. And now we're going to be up to the shooting phase. We're going to be a bit of shooting. So my Outriders shot. They shot 3, 4, 7, 9 shots, and only 1 actually managed to hit. And they actually managed to wound. So 1 wound -1 ran. So I killed something.
Yeah, I can't save, so this guy dies, and I'm just going to leave him lying down like that.
Great. Okay, so my crossbows just shot the Bloodthirster 25 shots. Out of those, Andy have to do a bunch of saves on 3 -1 and 9 regulars.
Yeah.
Out of those, I was only able to do 3 damage. 4 damage,
yeah,
on the Bloodthirster, so he's still up. The other 35 shots were made on the
Skull Reapers.
Skull Reapers, thank you. And out of those, 11 were -1, 9 were regulars, and I still managed. Did manage to do 12 wounds to it. So he removed 4 guys,
yeah,
which is pretty useful because it gets me this unit out of combat, and so I'm going to be able to shoot at anything I want, and I get a +1 because there's nothing inside 3 inch. +1 to hit, of course. So I'm now looking forward to shoot other things. So I got my handgunners to shot on the Skull Reapers, and everything went in. My snipers managed to miss again on the 1, but I got 8, isn't it? Yeah, 8 -1. No.
Yep, 7.
7, sorry. So 7 -1 ran on the Skull Reapers.
Okay, so I need 5s, and I failed 6, so that's the whole unit.
That's the whole unit gone. So I managed to get them out of combat again, but the Knight Incantor is in combat with the Bloodthirster, which is dangerous. So I'm gonna get them to shoot. So my handgunner shot, here you go, at the, the handgunner shot at the Bloodthirster. They managed to hit and wounds. Only 3 handgunners managed to wounds, but my sniper did manage to wound. So which one do you want to roll for?
I'll do the 3 at rend
1.
Okay.
Handgunners.
So on 5s, so I failed 2, so he takes 2 more wounds.
Oh, the sniper may be able to kill it.
And then I need
-1 rend.
-1, so if I roll anything but a 5 or a 6, he's dead.
Okay.
And I rolled a 3, he's dead.
Sniper got it.
So that's another blood type.
Yeah, another blood point. I still have my militia unit to fire, and they're gonna fire on the Warmonger. So militia unit here managed to fire, decide to fire at the Warmonger, and they managed to hit 6 wounds. So Andy's gonna roll for it. No rend.
No rend. Okay, they've got bronze flesh on them, so they're saving on 4s. So I failed 3. So that kills this guy, and I'll put a wound on this guy here.
Here. So now end of the shooting phase. Now charge phase. So I'm going to try to charge 9 invocators on a 5+, because I want to get him away from and before he blew himself up. So he's able to charge 9. So that won't get him anywhere near that guy, but can I get to be 1/2 inch and 3 inch? No, I won't be able to do any kind of damage to those. But I'm gonna go and blow myself up here. And then Griffin's gonna try to come down, so we set on the 7.
Yep. Yeah, 7 makes sense.
7. So 7, and so Griffin's gonna try to come down, and he's gonna miss it. Yeah, snake eyes. So, end of the charge phase, combat phase, I'm gonna blow myself. Night Invocator is just gonna choose to explode himself. He's 3 wounds in, so you only have 2 wounds left, but I'm gonna use 3 Spirit Blast, so it's gonna do 3 mortal wounds at everything inside 3 inch. There's no unit of more than 10 models, so they won't do D3, but I'm gonna do 3 mortal wounds to that guy. So how many wounds does he have?
5.
5, so
3 mortal
wounds. 3 mortal wounds on a Wartmonger.
Okay, so another one dies.
And then I'm gonna explode myself.
Cool,
There
for
you
a
go.
blood type point. Okay, so 2 Wrathmongers died. They have Bravery 7, and I rolled a 3, so I'm good. So they just get put away somewhere. And Blood Reavers are Bravery 6 with the banner. I lost 1, and I rolled a 2, so this is fine as well. Skull Reapers are all dead, so I'm just going to remove them, and that's the end of that battle round.
And it's gonna be roll for it.
They go away.
Oh,
They keep going away.
bad luck on your skull. You should have stayed on at least once in the 3 turns we've played.
Yeah. So is this the roll for turn?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go for priority. I'm gonna roll a 4. Andy,
2.
roll a 2. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's probably gonna be the end of it.
Yeah, I think you can shoot everything else I have off the board.
Yeah.
Well, dear viewers, as you can see as what's happening now, there's been a little bit of math happening on the table, and it seems as though the Free Peoples will be taking this game. Louis-Philippe and Andy have both discussed what has happened and have come to the conclusion that since the Outriders are able to get into combat along with the Griffin, they are easily able to clean up the Fleshhounds and the Blood Reavers, meaning that Andy is not going to be in control of his objective, as well as the Free Peoples clearing off the Khornates from his own objective, meaning that at the end of the turn, Andy will lose the game because he cannot control his own objective anymore. That means that the Free Peoples have won this game for the Empire!
So, how it go?
Yeah, that was tough. It was a good game though. So with Knife to the Heart, you know, having 2 objectives and winning the game by taking both of them. I felt like as Khorne, my army's designed to like run in and hit hard. So my mission was to get my Skull Reapers in there and just chew through your stuff, and then the Bloodthirsters were there to kind of mop things up. And it started well. I got in there and I made the charge, and I was definitely killing your stuff. But then, yeah, your shooting was really good. Yeah.
Well, I'm really proud of the fact that I managed to channel you in the kill zone, I believe. So I was really lucky on the fact that I had 3 part of scenery that were able to bottle you, box you inside the kill zone. Mm-hmm. And you actually went in straight in that kill zone. So really Khorne-like headlongs in that kill zone. But as I said while we were filming, I really got lucky we chose something that didn't involve any capturing of objectives throughout the game. Because you were in full control of the board, mostly, except my Outriders that were going around from the back. But if you had to go capture like other objective on the board, you would probably have put it up quite easily. or at least I would have run around to it, be trying to catch up on how many points we have got throughout the games. But yeah, the fact that you had to reach over and you came really fast over, well, the only thing that can shoot is actually a nice little whip of your guy.
Yeah.
So you actually had to come over if you want to do something. And you did manage to came over. But yeah, what happened to your bloodthirster that stayed back for 1 or 2 turns?
Yeah, that was probably a mistake. I probably should have actually. This guy, he's got some good shooting attacks and he's very good in melee. So I probably should have had him up there with the other bloodthirster, because actually by spending that command point, they both could have piled in 6 inches.
Which you did 1 turn.
Which I did 1 turn, but by then the other bloodthirster was like already nearly dead.
Yeah,
bleeding. So yeah, I mean, I think the lesson learned for me is to, when facing like a shooting army, is to like overwhelm you with targets, because you can't kill everything. And then if I get lucky enough to like double turn you or get some good charges in, then you're gonna struggle to stop me from getting in there.
One other thing you could do is, as we talked about, is you can actually try to tag the back units. That's something I've seen, and well, new battle dome's coming out for Hope Free People. I know it's City of Sigmar, but we should be somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're going to change the mechanic, but right now, if my firing unit are stuck in combat, I'm forced to fire on whoever I'm stuck with in combat. And I'm also losing some bonuses because you're inside 3 inches of me. So my crossbow, I've been shooting twice whole game, but if you're inside 3 inches of my crossbow, I'm only shooting once. And if they are less than 20 also, that's something that could have changed the game. But once again, don't have much magic. Whipping my crossbow means you're in range of my crossbow, which is definitely the best thing for a blood tester.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you may try to go around. But yeah, what usually matters is the projection that the word used in English also. Projection of on the board for the free people is usually something I struggle. And the fact, as we saw through the game, you were pushing me in my corner. I didn't have to move much. And then once I was able to brace for the wave, I was able to move. And then we saw in turn 4, I was moving back and I came over for the objective. That's what's mostly about plan. For free people, it went well. And for Khorne, it went well. Bloody.
Yes.
So a bunch of blood points, but the objective went your way.
Okay, well, anyway, thanks for the game.
Yeah, thanks for the game, and it's fun to play with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for Madhouse for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more of this, and there will be more Age of Sigmar coming very soon. Thank you again for watching.